मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, let's get back to our roots, says PM. Water carting issue bothers Fijians. An agriculture census gets underway.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says the Pacific's deep-seated cultural influence has fueled our urgency in combating climate change. Bainimarama made the statement while speaking at a special session on urban culture and climate change action in Abu Dhabi. Ali Kibia with the story.
With the theme Connecting Culture and Innovation, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says solutions to some of the existing problems such as climate change can be found in our roots, history and heritage.
As long as our planet continues heating, no people will be spared from greater suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, this week we have the opportunity to discuss cities' role in averting that future by making urban living synonymous with sustainability.
The Prime Minister says we need to rehabilitate that harmony through restorative measures and engaging in carbon markets to offset emissions of highly developed nations. For the other world leaders, urbanization is one major factor contributing to climate change.
To meet the challenge posed by the scale and scope of urbanization in the context of global uncertainty, disruptive and destructive change requires a true sense of urgency.
The growth trajectory of the World Urban Forum demonstrates the importance of Sustainable Development Goals number 11.
Bainimarama says serving our climate's long-term interest serves our citizens' best interest today. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Fijians that were affected by water disruptions in the Central Division have raised issues about the lack of water carting services provided to affected areas last week. FBC News visited a few areas today, and residents of the affected areas echoed the same sentiments, calling for timely water carting services when the need arises. Koroi Tandulala reports.
A lot of Fijians around the greater Suva-Nausori area have raised their concerns regarding the water carting services over the past few days.
It was really difficult to carry out our daily chores during the water cuts over the weekend. We called the authority and they say that there will be water trucks coming to us at Cunningham. However, the water truck came only once all throughout the week before water was restored.
We had low water pressure from Thursday night throughout the weekend, and our neighbor on the other side of the road who had no water had to come to us as there were no water trucks.
Making a round trip today to some affected areas, residents of Tadirua and Sakotha says they face the same issues with water cutting services.
They say they're going to supply with the water cuts, but no water cuts came. Lucky we got our transport, so we go and fill it up with our buckets and water bottles.
When we had water disruption on Friday through to the weekend, we were really counting on water cutting service. But sadly, there wasn't any water cutting service for us here. So we had to cross over to the people on the other side who had low water pressure to fill up our buckets.
Water Authority of Fiji this afternoon confirms that all water supply to affected areas have been normalized. WAF says all major service distribution reservoirs at Wainibuku, Tovata, Nasinu, Turak, Tadirua, Dokanaisuva and Dolisuva are at healthy and desirable water levels. FBC News' efforts to get a comment from the Infrastructure Minister and the Water Authority of Fiji CEO on the water cutting matter has so far proven futile. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The 2020 agriculture census began today, and it wasn't without challenges. In the Central Division, teams faced issues of connectivity and hiccups with the data collection, which had to be worked through, causing some delays to team getting out into the field. Nonetheless, given the massive nationwide exercise, challenges were expected. Maggie Boyle with the story.
In the province of Tailevu, enumerators headed to their count areas today just after midday.
So we have to cover 120 households altogether today. So 2 field supervisor and 9 enumerator.
It's day one of the 2020 agriculture census, and enumerators are out and about across the country. Here in Nakaele and Tokotoka, Tailevu, there are over 100 households here waiting to be counted. Back at headquarters in Nausori, managing the logistics has had some teething issues.
Communication, connectivity is the major challenge out there, but thanks to the telecommunication team, they've been here from Saturday this morning, so we've called them up because we need to be connected. So they've sent a team out, a two-man team.
Nonetheless, teams are working to clear any backlog.
We received the enumerators interview updates, and then we get back to them if there is need. If there is more information needed or questions being answered by the enumerator or field supervisors is not according to the requirements.
The 2020 agriculture census will be carried out over the next 3 weeks from the 10th to the 29th of February. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
As the deadly coronavirus continues to spread, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama is urging Fijians to practice good hygiene. Speaking on FBC's Radio Fiji 1, Bainimarama says the Health Ministry is closely monitoring the global situation and is implementing the necessary precautionary measures. The Prime Minister called on people to avoid spreading rumours about the virus online, as this can cause panic amongst Fijians. He reaffirmed that the government has stringent measures in place, particularly for all ports of entry.
We need to start doing more now than what we were doing before in terms of hygiene, because this disease is also through touch. Be on the lookout for what your children are doing and where they play. All these are part of the coronavirus risks.
Official figures say the rate of infections from the deadly coronavirus may be slowing in China. Travel restrictions across many cities in China remain, but more people are expected to take trains and planes tomorrow as the extended New Year's holidays come to an end. Up ahead, bus fare increase comes into effect. And all the wrap-up from the Oscar Awards, details after the break.
Radio Fiji 1 Nandomo Iviti.
The new bus fares have come into effect today. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission say whilst the increase is now in use, bus operators are free to set attractive rates on competitive routes to attract customers. Upinisa Wangarandova reports the Prime Minister says a thorough process was undertaken before the increase was announced.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says they had to ensure Fijians were not drastically affected by the increase.
All Fijians should know that government and FCCC do not decide the increase. Rather, it is the bus companies who decide. But FCCC ensures Fijians are not affected, and that is why they put a maximum.
Bainimarama says it has been a few years since an increase was made.
It has been some long years since the fare was increased, and this is why operators have asked for the review, because bus fare is not meeting the expenses they are doing from their end.
Some Fijians agreed that the change was appropriate to save the bus industry from collapsing.
I think it's time the fare changes, because we would not want our bus operators to close down.
I think it's okay.
For some, it might be a lot, but I come from Naitasiri and I'm happy with the bus services, so I'm okay with the increase.
Meanwhile, Vodafone continues working to convert its e-ticketing system to the new fares.
Our guys have been on the road or basically in the field trying to do the upgrades. And we are confident, given the report that we are receiving, that a lot of the buses have been able to go to the new fare systems. Obviously, there will be some issues here and there, but we have a plan and we're working with the stakeholders to get that done.
The Consumer Council of Fiji has urged bus operators to charge the correct bus fares and says operators should have prior briefed their drivers on the percentage increase per stage to prevent any inconvenience for the passengers. Upinisa Wangarandova, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office is encouraging commercial entities to stop accepting the current voter cards as a form of identification. With these voter cards to be phased out by June, the FEO expects an influx of voters wanting to get the updated version when services resume tomorrow. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says everyone who wants the new card must bring a copy of their birth certificate.
A lot of financial institutions have already started to ask voters to turn up with blue cards instead of the green ones, and that is good for us, and we encourage more and more organizations that use the voter card as an ID to encourage the customers to come up with the blue voter cards.
New Zealander Taika Waititi is amongst the winners at the 92nd Academy Awards for his film based on a book about a Hitler-obsessed 10-year-old. He, along with the likes of Joaquin Phoenix, Brad Pitt and Renee Zellweger, were all winners at the awards earlier today. Wild weather has battered Sydney and caused flash flooding across New South Wales. Evacuation orders are in place for parts of the city as thousands are without power. And Kelly joins us now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break. Over $2 million for M-Pesa. And in growing Fiji, Forestry Ministry excited with census. Stay with us.
My name is Neha and I'm from Kadavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business, an average of $2.2 million in remittances per month is netted by Vodafone Fiji through its M-Pesa platform. Vodafone Fiji's head of e-commerce Shailendra Prasad says since its inception in 2010, M-Pesa has 550,000 active users and people from 94 countries can now send money through M-Pesa. Faria Begum with this report.
The remittances received through the M-Pesa project is expected to increase as Vodafone Fiji now has a new partner aboard.
We've just signed on Western Union as a partner, Western Union brings close to about 68% of the total inward remittances into Fiji, of about 600 million. So we see a big opportunity of people using Western Union to now be able to send money directly into M-Pesa.
Prasad says the M-Pesa platform was created to allow easy access for users.
For the platform, we have close to about 550,000 registered users. That's almost, two-thirds of the entire population of Fiji. Active monthly users are close to about 127,000. Average count of monthly transactions is about 251,000, and the total value of transaction happening in the M-Pesa system is close to about 15 million.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Capital Development Fund has lauded the work of Vodafone.
Innovation is a lot of trials, ups and downs. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I think really the objective is how do we make sure by learning, by doing.
With the changing of lifestyle and the continuous growth in the business environment, Vodafone is eager to pave the way for a much quicker and easier way of doing business. Faria Begum, FBC News.
And it's time for Sharon to join us with the latest from the money markets.
Let's review the trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange for last week. Over 34,000 shares were traded, amounting to more than $112,000. 8 listed entities recorded trades, with 6 noting share price changes. 88 shares further decreased by 12 cents to close the week at $2.81. Paradise Beverages Fiji rose by 49 cents to $16.50. Place Global shares grew by 5 cents, closing at $2.75, while Port Denarau Marina Limited further improved by 5 cents to $2.55. Meanwhile, RB Patel Group shares dropped by 5 cents and settled at $3.65, while Fijian Holding shares concluded the week at $1.50, noting a 21-cent decrease. Noting these share price changes, the overall market capitalization decreased by 3.4% to a value of $3.90 billion. And that's the wrap from our local stock market and HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Vinaka Sharon here. Today's exchange rates as said this morning. The Fiji dollar gained in strength against our 2 major trading partners today, gaining on the Aussie and Kiwi dollars as the market continues to adapt to the influence of the coronavirus on travel and trade. The Fiji dollar slipped against the other currencies we cover. Onto the commodities markets, that was mixed. Crude oil rose slightly at just over $50 per barrel. Gold was on the rise at $1,571 per ounce, and silver closed down at $17.67 per ounce. In growing Fiji, for the first time, the agriculture census will have 4 subsectors: sugarcane, livestock, fisheries and forestry. With the agriculture census beginning today, the Ministry of Forestry anticipates not only relevant data but also statistical information that they've never had before. Permanent Secretary from the Ministry, Pen Nambuli, says the expanded focus on the 2020 census will for the first time give them a better stocktake of the forestry resources. The census will be carried out over the next 3 weeks.
Another good example is pandanus or voivoi, which our rural women use. This is classified as a minor forest produce. So again, this census will be able to collect that type of information. So extremely vital information that will indicate to Fiji the type of resources we have.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Rabbitohs out to end a winless drought. And 12 goals in 2 matches. Blues stamp their mark early in VPL. This and more after the break.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
The Rabbitohs Rugby League side is aiming to be the first Fijian team to win the Melanesian Club Championship when they take on PNG's Lei Tigers on the 29th of this month. While PNG teams have dominated the competition since it started in 2015, the Rabbitohs are confident they can create an upset. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The Rabbitohs team has stepped up its preparations for the clash against Lei Tigers as they want to break the 3-year winning streak of the PNG club.
Quite optimistic about chances that on the 29th we'll leave no stone unturned, and as we prepare, and we believe we are in the right frame of mind and the right condition to match them on the day.
The side has been pushing themselves over the past few weeks in very hot and humid conditions, and today at the Natalao grounds it was no different, with the temperature around 31 degrees Celsius.
Basically, we've seen that for the last 3 matches against Tax, and the fitness-wise and basically in our defense and attacks, and basically for us to remember that they've already won 3 matches against Fiji opponents, that in all areas we need to step up maybe 100%, and that's what we are trying to achieve.
The Rabbitohs also boast a few players from the Kaiviti Silktails who are expected to be named in the final team tomorrow.
I think they prepared very well, and we are trying our best to win the game on 29.
The Rabbitohs qualified for the Melanesian Club Championship after winning the Fiji Vodafone Club Challenge Grand Final, while the Lei Tigers won the PNG Digicel Cup Final. The Rabbitohs will host the Tigers at Churchill Park on the 29th of this month. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
That's why Shipping Fiji Warriors are gunning for their 5th World Rugby Pacific Challenge title in a row this year. The Fiji Warriors have lifted the Pacific Challenge title 9 times in the competition's 12-year history. World Rugby has released the fixtures for the 2020 installation, which will be held at NZ Stadium in Suva. The Warriors host the Samoa A in its first match on the 6th of March before meeting Tonga A 4 days later. The last match will be against Junior Japan on the 14th of March. France are top of the Six Nations table after a 35-22 bonus point win despite a lackluster second half against Italy. France have not won the Six Nations since 2010, but their resurgence under new coach Fabien Galtier began with victory against England last weekend. The Lautoka football side continued its outstanding form in the Vodafone Premier League, beating 96-0 at Churchill Park yesterday. The Jet Setters were no match for the Blues, who beat Nasinu the week prior by the same goal margin. Tali Materakula has more.
Impressed with their performance, Captain Poa Sambaini Valu says the win is dedicated to their fans.
I'm happy with the performance, I'm happy with the boys. The team is there. For next week we're traveling down to Vanuatu. Just want to thank the Lord for the win today, the 6 goal, and the people for the fan for Lotoka. The 3 points is for them.
Analyzing the players' performance after the 2 matches played, Coach Anand Sami says more work needs to be done as they anticipate a tougher challenge ahead in the O-League.
Because it's this OFC League in Vanuatu, we're going to go and flying out on Wednesday and then see how. So that's what we have to really perform well, but there we'll see a more organized opponent, we'll better organized opponent.
He adds the side knows what to expect from international level of competition.
I know how the professional coaches and them, how they prepare the team, everything they go by book. So that's sort of the opponents we're going to meet, and it's not easy, but we'll try to put the best performance.
The Blues currently sit on top of the Vodafone Premier League points table with 6 points. They will travel to Vanuatu on Wednesday for their first O-League match against a Vanuatu club, Malampa Revivers, on Saturday. Tali Materkula, FBC Sports.
Sevu Reese is a man of many talents. The Crusaders and All Blacks player is not just a winger, he's a singer. In today's Play of the Day, we take a look back at his impromptu performance with New Zealand band 660. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you with weather later on, and in new media, a look at the app developed by the Fijian Elections Office. Details coming up.
Mulai here, Tavwa. We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
A new app has been developed by the Fijian Elections Office to better engage with voters. The FEO survey app is designed to help the FEO gather feedback and make improvements for the next election. Edwin Nunn reports.
The FEO survey app will allow voters to give their opinion on the 2018 general election and suggest improvements.
Find out some of the reasons why people came to vote and why they didn't come to vote. 2018 election saw relatively low turnout, 72.9%, and this is of course a concern, and as such the Fijian Elections Office will now be doing research.
The app goes online in about a month, meaning 450,000 voters can directly reach out to the Fijian Elections Office. Amendra Ashwin is the programmer at the FEO who built the app.
I had to do a lot of research on the structure and the designing of the app itself to make it as intuitive as possible and simple in its layout. And the second one was the security, the data security in terms of protecting the voters' anonymity, how they answer the surveys, and how we store the data.
The new app is able to conduct a wide range of surveys based on guidelines set by the FEO.
Rather than having to go down to the voters to extract their views, the app will be where the voter will at their own convenience be able to respond to our questions.
The survey is basically based on the voters' views on the 2018 general elections. And then moreover, it can be always adapted to whichever type of survey that we want, since it is a dynamically populated app.
The first survey will ask basic questions such as why people chose to vote or not to vote and how they found the entire experience. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
And Angie joins us now with the latest from weather.
Aloha and welcome to the Weather World. Yes, I know, sunshine is a show-off and is quite famous for being the talk of the town, but it's something we all need. Anyways, hope your weekend was amazing with, of course, so much sun. Now, checking the west out for today, purely beautiful with loads of sunny dry spells. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, clear blue skies. It seems like the day temps were around 36 degrees, but actually it was 31. And up north, sunshine broke records here. Few straight days of good weather. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 1:51 a.m. with high tide at 8:07 a.m. Sunrise at 5:57. For tomorrow, we have a sudden change in the weather. There is rain approaching. Time to bundle up everything that was left for sun drying. Tomorrow's temps, the west takes the trophies for showcasing great weather. Lautoka and Lambasa will hit about 32 degrees despite rain. And looking further on to Wednesday, it doesn't get any better from here. More showers rolling our side, but don't be sad, it's only Monday. That's all the weather news from my end. It's back to Jackie, who likes her sunshine just like her coffee.
You know me well, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, do you think water authorities should provide more water trucks during water cuts?
Yes, I believe there should be more water taxis available due to the recent one because of the short notice that was given.
Yes, I believe there should be more water cuts because it will assist people when there is water cuts.
The water disruptions last week caught us off guard. We thought there was going to be a lot of water trucks coming around, but there was only 1 or 2 in my area.
It should be helped to be just being put more truck to be supply the water.
The water authority needs to provide more water trucks because there seems to be more water disruptions.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, we've seen lots of stunts. How about this, which comes with 10 years of practice? Recapping the main stories for tonight, let's get back to our roots, says PM. Water carting issues bothers Fijians, and agriculture census gets underway. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question last week we had asked, can the current Fiji Sevens team win gold at the Tokyo Olympics? 51% said yes. Now, this week we're asking, are you happy with the bus fare increase which has come into effect? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, a beautiful day at the Sandbar in Savusavu, which is a favorite picnic spot for many. This was taken by Thomas McPherson. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, by Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.